Everyone, Roger here from Ask the Car Expert YouTube channel. We're going to go over some very important winter car tips. It's that time of year in New England, everything's getting colder. It's definitely a good time to do some simple steps to make sure you don't get stranded out in the cold. Please remember to subscribe to my Ask the Car Expert YouTube channel. Please hit that like button and let's get into this now. So this really applies to all vehicles. It doesn't matter if it's a BMW, but this is very, very typical for this year. You're gonna get this warning right here that your tire pressure is low. And you can see right here, I don't know why my wife's Durango is saying that the issue tire is the one that's the highest. It's time to inflate these tires. Now, usually it's good to look at the door placard to get the recommended cold tire pressures. Remember, you do wanna check your tires when they're cold and adjust them when they're cold. And a good rule of thumb for the winter time, especially if we're not quite in the full cold weather, is to add about 3 psi. That'll help to alleviate some of that colder snap temperature warnings that you're going to be getting. So if you're not sure which set your tire pressures to, usually there's a sticker on the B pillar or right to the left of the driver's seat. So on this particular vehicle, they want the front set to 33. And the rear set to 36 and the spare set to 60. Not that anyone ever checks a spare, right? But that is a good idea to make sure that your spare is ready to go, especially for the winter. So I'm going to set my wife's front wheels to, let's do 35. Once 33, I'm going to set them to 35 on both sides. If you notice that you have one tire, when you're checking it, that's low as compared to the other three, then make sure to look over that tire for a puncture. You want to make sure that if there's one tire that doesn't seem correct as compared to the other three, that you take a second and look over that tire for any kind of puncture. The valve stem might be leaking from the core. You know, just anything that stands out, you should have that tire checked. You definitely want to check the tread of your tires. You can see here, this is the wear bar. I'm going to probably replace these in the spring, but definitely something to watch out for. If you are at your wear bar and the tread is even, it is definitely discard time. Also, make sure you check the inner, because the inner can wear irregular and you won't see it. Be careful though, because if there's any kind of metal showing, you can cut your hand. So you might want to put gloves on or turn the wheel to check the inner edge. Right, but definitely keep an eye on the inner edge. Uneven wear like cupping, that's when it will dip down in the center. Cupping is often from overinflation. And also check for any bubbles that you might have in your sidewalls, right? If you get a good impact, it can actually separate internally and you'll get an air pocket behind one of the layers of the rubber. And if that punctures, you could have a leak or the tire could fail without warning. Just one more quick note about tires. You can see that there's very light dry cracking. Now sometimes this can occur from tire shine that people put on their wheels. I don't know, we just purchased this not that long ago, so maybe that's the case. Tire shine can often actually cause dry cracking over time. So if you have a lot of dry cracking, you want to check the date of your tire. You can do that using the DOT number, and the last 4 numbers say 5317. So this is a 2017 tire. As a general rule of thumb, tires should replace about 6 years from the date of manufacture. This dry cracking is relatively minor, so I'm not overly concerned, but if you had deeper cracking and it went all through the tread, and this is better tread in the back, you're going to want to make sure that you replace that tire. Some other basic things to check are to make sure that your washer fluid is filled. Check your coolant reservoir, and remember, never open this when it's hot, but you can see right here I'm right at minimum. And check your oil level. My wife's Durango does have a dipstick, so I can go ahead and check the oil level with the dipstick manually. If you have a BMW, you're going to want to check it electronically inside the car. Make sure to inspect your wiper blades, and a good rule of thumb is to replace them at least once a year. I just replaced these early in the summer, so I know I'm good. But having worn wipers definitely could be a bad day if you're in an ice and snowstorm. So just check the rubber and make sure it feels supple. It's not cracking or separating. If it's been over a year, I would recommend replacing the wiper blades. The next most important thing to check is your battery. How old is your battery? Does it look like it's leaking fluid? Check the terminals. Do you have a lot of corrosion? On a BMW, they are kind of hidden in multiple places, quite often in the trunk, but you can still have your battery tested from the jump terminal if you have the correct style tester. I'm going to just use this Ansel battery tester, and let's just check my battery. Right, it says good recharge. Only 524 cold cranking amps. Voltage 1230. So, I don't know. I'm going to go ahead and charge this and test this. I drive my car quite often, or my truck very often, so I would expect this to have a higher charge. I don't know if I trust this 100%. It says good recharge. What I could do is charge the battery and then test it again. If it says good recharge a second time, that means the battery is sulfated and it should be replaced, because it could leave you stranded on a cold day. Also remember to clean the inside of your windshield as well as the outside. The inside's often overlooked and can create a lot of glare while you're driving and can definitely lead to some unsafe conditions. I also like to treat the windows with Rain-X, which this can actually repel rain, sleet, and snow. It's just a good idea. If you don't like Rain-X, that's fine. I do like to use it. It's a great product in my opinion. So I'm going to apply that to both my truck and my wife's vehicle. Rain-X makes a great addition to your winter prep. And that's it for now. Thanks for watching. Please give this video a thumbs up. If you have some winter prep ideas and suggestions that you might have that you do to your car, please put them in the comment section. Love to hear from you. All right, have a great day.